Make a slump mold. What a slump mold is a flat piece of clay that you slump over another object, and you let it get leather hard on that object. You take it off, you put handles and feet on it, and then you have something. In this case, I didn't put feet on mine because my this project is large enough to meet the requirements that I don't have to put feet on there. Also, I made it out of stoneware. This is the same thing that pizza stones are made out of, so you could cook with this. This is, if you wanted to cook a pizza on there, put some biscuits in there, or some roast, you could do that. So the requirements for this assignment is you have to have a slump mold with 2 handles and 4 feet, and it must contain some kind of a pattern. So the first thing I'm going to teach you how to do is learn how to make a slab. For this assignment, you will want a nice big area, and you want it to be clean. You do not want any debris on the area that you're going to be doing. Now, when you make a slump mold, you always want to use more clay than you think you're going to need. It makes it easier on you, I promise. So I'm going to wedge this up. Mix this puppy up here. Okay. After you get it, you want to make sure you spank it like a disobedient child into a ball.
What?
Just kidding.
Well, that got dark all of a sudden.
Okay, so I'm going to be making, you want to try to get rid of all the creases if you can. I'm hoping this will be big enough. This is how you throw out a slab. Just like when you're playing baseball, somebody pitches a baseball to you, you don't swing and stop. You always follow through, just like a soccer ball. If you were to stop, then the ball would just be weird. It wouldn't go anywhere, right? So, same thing with slab. You're not throwing it straight down. The reason why is it will stick to the table, and then it doesn't work very well. So I'm going to take this piece of clay, throw it down on an angle. Do you see that? I'll flip it over, throw it down on an angle. Throwing out a slab is a little bit of a skill. It takes a little bit of practice.
No, I might go and put a couple lines through that. It'll look like a pizza.
You could. Definitely make it look like a pizza.
Ever prank somebody with that?
Save a lot of people in high school. Alright, so that right there will not fit. It needs to be bigger because it's going to be over the top of it. Make this just a little bit bigger. Almost there. Okay, if you want to know how thick it is, it's kind of deceiving sometimes. So you can just take a needle, stick it down, and then pull it up. It's okay, that's a little thick. I don't know if you can see that, but that is a little thick. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to make this just a little bit thinner. Oops. Okay, I'm screwing it up a little bit now. Now I'll take my roller. rolling this puppy out here. You want it to be as straight and consistent as you can, so a lot of times I'll get down and look at it, and you'll see if you get down eye level where the thick spots are. So, I'll put this down now. Oops. You see how there's putting some marks on it? There's just a little tiny piece of clay. You want to make sure that your area is clean and then also your mouth is clean. That looks like it'll barely fit. That's good. So, I'll take my needle. I'll cut this section off and I'll use this to show you guys how to make patterns. I'm gonna take that off right there. This is a little big, so. It's easier if it's a little bit bigger, and I'll show you why in just a minute, because when you're gonna take this piece of clay and you're gonna put it over the object you want. So there's two ways of doing slump mold. You can either put the clay on the inside, which makes it smaller. I want to show you something interesting. This right here is the exact same pot. Remember how I talked about clay shrinks? It's the exact same. If I put that on the inside, it's not touching the bottom, but you can see how much your project will shrink. This is stoneware. I think it shrinks just a little bit more than B-Mix. Might be more like 20%. So, anyways, what I'm gonna do is clay. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but if you try to wedge on the back table there, because it's not porous, the clay tends to stick to the pot. A lot of students forget to do this, and they ruin their projects. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some paper towel on the project. And what I want you to do for this assignment is I want you to go grab something at home that you'd like to make. If your mom has like a favorite dish or something that she would like another one of, or just there's a piece of plastic that you guys really love that you want a ceramic one that you can cook with, I want you to bring. Plastic is the best just because it's not breakable, and when you bring it to school, you have a much better chance of getting it home without being broken. So I do have a couple examples over here, but between 3 classes I won't have nearly enough, so you do need to bring something in from home. So now that I have my slump mold covered up with paper towel, I'm going to take this piece of clay, and what I do is I generally lift up one side because it likes to stick. There we go. Now the whole thing is up. Now, what I'm going to have you do, Logan, I'm going to have you, actually here Jake, you're closer. Jake, I'm going to have you slide this puppy under there, alright? You have to get it right in the center. If not, you're going to ruin everything.
Dude, not for
Okay.
YouTube.
1, 2, 3. Oh, that's perfect. Like a champ. Good job.
Yeah.
Alright, so now what I'm going to do is once I have my clay over my mold, you can ruin your project kind of easy. So what I want to do, and if I have a big project, generally I like to have people help me. So take your hand and you push down. You have one hand here and one hand here. We don't want any creases. We want it to stretch over evenly without getting any folds in it. Okay?
Okie dokie.
So put your hand there. Yep, just like that. Just kind of stretch that over it. Okay. Keep going. We got a long ways to go.
We got
Kinda gotta smush it.
The whole thing's gonna go in. Alright. Jake, you're just doing great, man.
Am I doing great?
Good job. Natural. Alright. Okay. Good job, Jake. Thanks. So once I have my actual clay over the mold and I have my paper towel underneath it, if you forget your paper towel, when you go to take it off, it's just gonna ruin it, it's gonna break. Now, here's the difficult thing about making slump molds. If I leave this slump mold, this clay, on the slump mold itself, and clay shrinks as it dries, what's gonna happen? It's gonna crack like crazy, right? Why? Because the clay is gonna shrink, it's gonna be around that form. Obviously, it's not gonna crush the plastic, and so it's gonna give generally around the edges and it's gonna crack. So, that is the first part of making a slump mold. Right there. Okay, do you wanna stop it?